Rachel Wana.
I'm Lubika Rawood. For more information on the work that we do and how you can help us to help others, please visit our website www.secondchances.org.za.
In Junior Achievement South Africa, its focus is really to expose youngsters within high school and out of school to entrepreneurial thinking. And ours is focused at high school from grade 10 to 12.
I'm very big on youth empowerment and making a difference and touching lives and impacting the lives of our young people. That's practically what I do with my foundation as well, and ever since I was crowned as Miss SA.
The goal of the magazine is to basically share information that will be able to assist small business owners.
You're listening to The Social Show with Viwe Chilwana
And Lubika Rawood, live on brandlive.co.za.
It is officially Monday, which is the start of the week, and we are ready. Girl power, girl.
Yes, I'm fresh and I'm ready to start the day.
How was your weekend, Viwe?
It was a very busy weekend, but very productive.
Okay.
How was yours?
It was good. I think I spent a lot of time with my family, which is weird, but we only spend a lot of time together when it's someone's birthday, and it was my granny's birthday.
That's beautiful.
So we'll wait in the next 6 months when it's my birthday.
You're okay now. You're like,
yeah. But anyways, let's get into our news.
Growing concerns about water scarcity and infrastructure inadequacy in South Africa and a rise in environmental awareness are said to be escalating the need for effective water treatment chemicals and accelerating the move away from conventional methods of water and wastewater treatment towards mechanical separation and biological methods. A decline in water levels and water quality as a result of threatening water crisis in South Africa is prompting treatment chemical companies to invest in alternative water treatment methods, says Frost and Sullivan visionary science practices research analyst, Justin Malebe. As a result, the opportunities for suppliers within the water and wastewater treatment chemicals market is expected to increase. Now, according to Frost and Sullivan's market analysis, which is called Industrial Water and Wastewater Treatment Chemicals Market Analysis in South Africa, forecast to 2020, the market valued at 159.3 million experienced a significant decline between 2013 and 2014 due to political and economic instability. However, it is expected to recover and reach 199 million by 2020. The largest chemical segment in 2015 was up to 59.8 million. Now, this segment is expected to be the slowest developing segment. However, it will retain the largest share in the forecast period.
DHL have added to conservation efforts by assisting in the transporting of endangered Cape vultures from the Eastern Cape to a rehabilitation sanctuary in Pretoria. Now, the Cape griffon vulture is the largest bird of its kind in Africa and is also one of the most endangered, listed as vulnerable to extinction by the World Conservation Union. Similar to threatened on the endangered species list, the Cape griffon vulture has suffered a significant population decline over the past few decades. Now, among the dangers faced by the capes, which are confined to a small area of South and Southwest Africa, is electrocution on power lines. In addition, changes in the migration patterns of large game herds and an increase in domesticated animals have diminished the amount of food available to the birds and led to dietary insufficiencies. Now, vultures form an important ecological component of our natural environment, and DHL assisted Kate Webster in getting an abandoned baby Cape vulture to the safety of a rehabilitation sanctuary in Pretoria. And Cape Webster, who is from Valpro, which is the vulture conservation program, said that she once again cannot explain her gratitude for DHL supply chain and the willingness to assist them with the transportation of the Cape vultures to Valpro from the Eastern Cape. And Fluffy Elliot, which is the endangered vulture that they saved, has gone to live at Valpro to learn to be a proper vulture, and if all goes well, will take to the skies sometime soon.
As part of the Fashion Development Program, which is proudly supported by eThekwini Municipality, the Journey for 2017 kicked off with showcasing of talented designer creations in hope of securing a place on the catwalk during the Fashion Week at the Durban Fashion Fair, which takes place in August. Now, recently, the municipality put out a notice to invite designers to participate in the annual Fashion Mentorship Program, which teaches and guides designers all about businesses regarding to fashion, and also grooms them for the Fashion Week. Now, the standard each year gets higher and higher, and as each designer submits their proposal and creations motivating why they should be within the program. Now, the Business Support, Tourism and Markets Unit that manages the program received a number of applications from within the eThekwini municipality, and was followed by an intensive interview process and much deliberation amongst the judges. And in the end, only 20 students can be selected out of the number of talented designers who are interviewed.
Cardiff filmmaker Matt was awarded the title 403 Good Deeds Guy and is hiding money around Cardiff, challenging the finders to use it toward a good deed. Now, Matt has taken up a personal challenge to do 403 good deeds to show his young son how people should be treated. Now, the latest deed isn't being undertaken alone. Matt has taken a total £200 and hidden it near all his favorite charities with a letter challenging the finder to use it on someone as a good deed. Now, the envelope will contain a £10 note, and there are 20 of these envelopes hidden all over Cardiff, Wales. Now, with these hidden £10 rather notes, he can now reveal that each location will be connected to a charity and cause that he really believes in. Now, hints for the locations of the envelopes are posted on Matt's Twitter, Facebook and Instagram accounts, and many people have already found some of the envelopes and have started posting their good deeds online for Matt and the world to see. Now, each envelope contains a letter giving tips and ideas on how to make the best use of the £10, like buying gloves and a scarf for a homeless person, or buying umbrellas and handing them out to passers-by. And that's our news wrap-up for the day.
Have you ever thought about the power of social media? Social media has the power to make your business grow. Yeah. Why don't you let us manage your social media? Because our business is to see your business grow. Visit us at www.bstownmedia.co.za.
Alrighty, and yeah, Labika, it's been quite a crazy weekend. You know, obviously we just finished up Cancer Day. World Cancer Day was on the 4th of February, which, you know, is such a special day for a lot of people, and a lot of people did a lot of beautiful things. But also last week brought us a few, you know, things that we forgot to mention, or maybe we didn't have time to mention, but you know, today we will. I don't know if anybody, and I'm pretty sure you guys did, or maybe you, Labika, rather, see the Get Fit campaign by Edgars.
Yes.
So basically, Edgars has this Get Fit campaign where they're selling, or rather showing off their new fit range, where, you know, people can buy and use at gyms and whatever they call it, the case may be. And you know, so the Instagram advert was aired last week, and people were just not happy. There were so many negative reviews. Now, the reason why people were not happy is because the lady, I won't say her name, who was in the campaign, was really, apparently to a lot of people, quite skinny. People were calling her skinny. People were calling her too thin. She wasn't really a fit model. And a lot of people were saying, you know, it's so crazy that in this day and age, fashion retailers are still using really small girls to show off their clothes, and it's just not healthy, and it's not really a healthy image to show young girls growing up. Even people who are trying to get fit, you know, that's not the image of a really fit, healthy body.
True. And I think the media also has a large role that they play in this, and social media especially, because if you look at Instagram, if you look at some posts, you'll see girls maybe enhancing the boobs, or, you know, the buttocks and that kind of thing. And they don't even look like that in real life. And I feel like there's so much pressure from society for people to look a certain way.
Exactly.
And a lot of stores, I shop a lot at Clearwater Mall. So I've noticed that about 2 stores have a petite section and V-wear. You can see, I was actually really amazed because I'm all about sales, right?
Yeah.
If there's a sale, I'm there.
Mm-hmm.
So it was a very expensive shop that I went into and they had a sale. So I was like, let me go look.
Okay.
And they had a petite section, which was basically half of the entire store. And I swear, the top that was showing was something a 6 or 7 year old
Could have worn.
And I was like, what is going on? Like, why? And I really couldn't find something that's my size. And I'm not big, I'm a small and a medium. So I was just like, you know what? If stores are already just showing that there's a petite section and we know of a store, I don't know if I can actually jog your memory right now. We spoke not too long ago about a store that I told you I like, but you told me you don't like. And they only cater to like skinny people.
Like you can't be like it's 0, like
Yes.
0 or 2 up to 2. Like that's as far as they go. It's the craziest thing.
What is that?
Yeah, I don't know. I think a lot of fashion retailers are getting away with the way they portray a lot of women. And I know Woolworths was in trouble also a while ago, 2011, when they had a campaign, or not a campaign really, they just showed some models wearing their clothes and they were super, super skinny. Like I'm talking bones. You could see their bones, you could see it just wasn't looking nice, and people also backlash. And I think the point of the great thing about this day and age is social media. Social media will call you out, and that's what we didn't have in the past. In the past you'd see really skinny models, people couldn't say anything, and a lot of women, a lot of young girls thought that was the status quo. That's how you're supposed to look. But now you have a lot of people who are at least saying, you know what, we don't accept that. That's not how we look in real life.
Exactly.
Your customers don't even look like that. So you're catering to a majority of looking like girls who aren't necessarily buying from your stores because your customers are human. They have families. They are little girls that are going to high school. They are young adults like us who are working. They are new wives. So you have to look at the demographic and see how they look and be honest about the representation you're bringing out. And I think it's so important that more people have that active role of saying, no, Edgars, that's not good fit. That's not good fit.
And I love how everyone just stood up. We stood united. But listen, we're not saying that it's not okay to be skinny.
Yes.
We're saying that society puts pressure on females specifically to look a certain way.
Yeah.
So if you're using a super, super skinny model, and if you have a petite section, or if you are an entire store that only caters to size 0 people, then there's a problem, because not all women look that way, and we shouldn't feel pressurized to look a certain way. We should be comfortable in our own skin,
in the way that you want to look. And if you want to be fit, have a campaign that portrays fit, right? But a lot of people could say, what is the perfect body and how does it supposed to look? There's no such thing as a perfect body, but if you're bordering on things that look similar to anorexia and bulimia or those kind of things, remember that does have a negative connotation, no matter if that wasn't the intention. But I have to say that Edgars really handled it well. They handled it very well. They put out a statement on their Facebook and I think Instagram, and they said, you know what, we get you, we hear what you're saying, we're very happy that you guys are engaging with our brand. However, remember that the girl involved is still human, and we don't have to be mean. And that's also one of the challenges with social media, is that you can't filter what people say. You kind of get the point, okay, the girl used maybe wasn't right for the campaign, and maybe they need to change the way they see women and like you said, like the image that is being portrayed. But there's a line between being really harsh, being really mean, and telling the truth. And I mean, you can't say there aren't girls that thin. There are. There's a lot of skinny girls in South Africa, but we're just saying that that's not the only girl. There's one of the many girls that exist in South Africa, and people just didn't think that the advert was true to that sentiment, that there's more than just one kind of body. But on the flip side, I don't know, and you can deny this if you want to, but how many times have you walked into a China shop, like a Chinese shop, right? Have you seen the mannequins there?
Yep.
They have the biggest bums. They have the biggest bums and the biggest breasts, right? And you know, to sort of flip it on the other hand, when you look at these high-end Louis Vuitton stores, you have these really petite, skinny. Then when you go to like Chinese shops or like China Mall or whatever, you see these really, you know, well-endowed women. And that's what you also see on Instagram, right? You really see skinny models. Then you also see the girls, the Kylie Jenners of life, you know, with the big booties and the big. So there's a really there's a hectic pressure to look either really like Kim Kardashian or you're going to be Gigi Hadid. It's the two extremes. There's no normal. There's no real normal girl being represented in the media. And I think it's very important that we speak about it and find out which NGOs are looking into eating disorders. And because, I mean, changing your body and it's also a disorder.
Yeah.
It's a disorder. If you don't want to look, if you want to have a big, I mean, having a big bum doesn't necessarily mean you are
prettier.
Yeah.
Exactly. And that is why a lot of women go to these plastic surgeons that's doing things in their yard that's not going to be as expensive, but they're going anyway. And I watch a lot of reality TV and I watch a lot of these Botched and all these
now Botched is a mess.
That is a mess. And all these plastic surgeries gone wrong and that kind of thing. I really love those kind of shows. And you see, you know, a lady, her boob burst or her cheeks are hanging down low and whatever, only because she didn't like the way she looked and she went to a cheap plastic surgeon. So because society is painting the picture of this is how you're supposed to look, people are trying to
match up.
That's the thing. And I just read an article this morning about a girl. It happened not in South Africa, but it happened a while ago as well. But a girl, she was 15. She decided to diet with her mum after Christmas because she felt like she was too fat. And her parents...
15, you shouldn't even know what the hell.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And her parents were like, her mother was like, okay, I'll diet with you, you know, a healthy diet. But then her mother stopped because she was like, okay, I've reached my goal weight. But the daughter kept on reducing her food intake, and she eventually died at 15 years old because of anorexia. So, and I'm also thinking, actually, you don't have to agree with me, but I'm actually thinking about this Edgar's campaign, right? They chose a super, super skinny model. And a lot of people see busty people as ugly. If you have cellulite, it's ugly. Remember the Lerato Kganyago, the whole thing.
Body shaming.
That's the thing, you know, that's what happened. And True Love was like, you know, we had to edit all the blemishes. And why? Why can't you just leave it there? If I'm comfortable that way, why can't you? So maybe Edgar's was like, let's choose a skinny model. People will love the campaign because we sell skinny clothing and lots of people like skinny. But if we
Everyone's
choose
trying to be skinny, that's why they're trying to go to get fit, right?
Exactly. And if they chose like a bustier woman, people will be like, oh, she's too ugly, she's too fat.
Yeah, it's got a lot of backlash to it. But I think what a brand is supposed to do is show off the clothes in the most unique way and in the most I think realistic way. And I think skinny or too busty would have not been too realistic. You just need they could have used an actual athlete.
Yes.
Do you get what I'm saying? Because that's what if people try to get fit, that's who they're trying to look at. So they could have used
like Richard Caster Semenya.
They could have used even Wade Fine. Okay, I think it's a chick campaign, but they could have used any of the there's so many athletes in South Africa, so many great swimmers. They could have used Penny, you know, and they could have used so many different people to portray it. But the fact that they went for a model who didn't look like she was fit, and even in the thing in the ad, like she's supposed to be gymming and boxing, and it's like,
what are you doing?
Shame, she's beautiful. She's a beautiful girl. I just think it wasn't the right campaign for her. I think she should be a runway model or whatever. At the same time, we need to be very honest about how South African women look. Let's be honest. We don't look like that.
No.
And whatever Edgar's campaign was supposed to portray, they needed to just be realistic, and that's the end of it. And I think it's very important that more brands are put on, you know, blast if they start, you know, not really representing the majority of people that are buying the clothes. What's the point? However, I know that there is, if you are somebody who, you know, or you know somebody who is really negatively affected by the models they see, or just has a really bad body idea of themselves or body image, there is a place in Cape Town. It's called Cape Recovery, and they deal specifically with people with eating disorders. And what I love about them is that they really look at the individual and they try to make sure that they recover from an individual perspective instead
beautiful.
of a group. Yeah. And also they look at other behavioral problems like substance abuse, behavioral abuse, and social abuse. So all of those problems, whatever problems you have, they look at it in an individual way. And so if you know anybody, I think it's important that we show people where to get the help.
True. And there's also a National Eating Disorders Association that you can go and have a look at, and as well as EDSA, which is Eating Disorders South Africa. So there are organizations, very few organizations, but there are organizations that help people. So it's so easy to, especially when you go on a diet, and you don't reach your goal weight, it's so easy for you to eat less. I know of someone who, after she gave birth, she stopped eating entirely and her hair started falling out. Yeah.
That's how it is. And you stop. There's so many problems with anorexia.
And it's because you want to look a certain way. We should all just learn to love our bodies. Whether you're busty, whether you don't have any curves, love your body and society. Be healthy. That's the most important thing. Society should stop painting a picture. Companies should stop painting pictures of what a female should look like, especially when they're promoting, skinny models as opposed to busty models. There's nothing wrong with being skinny. There's nothing wrong with being busty. But I feel like a lot of people still put pressure on how a woman is supposed to look. You don't hear about men having to look a certain way, but we will always just be the gender that people think they can tramp on.
Okay. I saw you lost your train of thought there, but I agree with you. We'll always be the gender at the bottom. But there has been studies, and maybe we should talk about it tomorrow, about the pressure men have to look. You have that chiseled, sexy,
six-pack.
Six-pack. There has been a little bit of a debate around that, but that's something for another day. We're just saying kudos to social media people, people who saw the campaign and didn't like it. Kudos to the fact that we can interact. And kudos to the fact that Edgars could answer right there, same day, and say, okay, we understand and we will do this and do that. You know what I mean? They said they will not pull out the ad, so the ad is still going to carry on. But they said that they will in future be very, sensitive to what they kind of portray, which is what we need actually. An active audience and a corpus that listen. But like you said, we don't have enough. NGOs in the space, and maybe tomorrow we'll find an NGO and talk to them about, how hectic is anorexic or eating disorders in South Africa, and are they really being looked at? Because a lot of people die. A lot of people die and it's forgotten. So tomorrow we will definitely find somebody, and if we don't, we will try again and again and again to find somebody who can answer the questions. But as you know, we always welcome your 2 cents as to what we talked about today. And if you have anything you want to share, Libika, where do they have to go?
Okay, so please go to @Social1TV on Twitter, @TV_Instagram, IBO, @TV_CSI on Instagram,
IBO,
and Social TV on Facebook. And let us know if you are also one of the people that actually, voiced your opinion against Edgars' campaign, or if you think, there was nothing wrong with the campaign. We love to hear 2 sides of the story, and use the hashtags BrandLive and Social Show.
Yes, and that's it from us today. Have a good day.
Have you ever thought about the power of social media? Social media has the power to make your business grow. Grow! Yeah. Why don't you let us manage your social media? Because our business is to see your business grow. Visit us at www.bstownmedia.co.za.